Hey guys, what's up? You're watching The Shit Show with Danielle. I'm here calling out the bullshit that our spin doctors feed to us. Anyways, today I'm going to be talking about not a term or a specific person, but rather a concept, optics, or about how something appears to the public at large. This is in reference to the UC Berkeley protest that broke out into violent police confrontation overnight over Milo Yiannopoulos, infamous Twitter troll, Breitbart writer, and Twitter exile. He's mostly famous for sicking a troll army on Ghostbusters star Leslie Jones, who received racially infused death threats, prompting Milo to be banned from Twitter. He's also done a lot of mediocre things I would rather not draw attention to, because why feed the fire? Milo was expected to talk about cultural appropriation at Berkeley's Martin Luther King Jr. Center when violent protests broke out amid peaceful protest, and 150 masked agitators showed up, according to the Berkeley News website. Milo was removed, as were the peaceful protesters, all exercising their First Amendment rights because of these agitators, who have not been confirmed as students. There were black bloc, a violent anonymous tactic of men in black storming a scene used by right and left anarchists around the world. They showed up at Occupy for Obama, and they're showing up now for Trump. They weren't confirmed as students, yet President Trump today threatened to take away UC Berkeley's federal funding for not allowing free speech on campus. Regardless, now peaceful demonstrations look as if they're violent students preventing a mediocre man with powerful friends from speaking. I'm going to tell you now, friends and fellow young people, do you want to be righteous or do you want to win? And while there is a time and place to punch a Nazi or light cars on fire, usually after a Steelers Super Bowl win, there are optics that we need to consider regardless of agitators showing up. First, you starve a bully by not showing him any attention. Milo would not be famous, would not get a book deal, would not even have grounds for being followed were it not for the people hating him. Alternatively, there are methods to righteously bully someone. There are smart tactics to troll back. There are comms methods of going psyops on people's egos. Letting him speak to a near-empty room with no press is his nightmare. Right now, America will conflate violent UC Berkeley protests with peaceful resistance that happens at the Women's March in response to executive orders at airports and even Standing Rock, which started as a spiritual gathering of water protectors. The optics on this are horrible, and most likely America will just see Berkeley, Martin Luther King Jr., cultural appropriation, and Milo, and they'll read it on Breitbart. They'll think that us special snowflakes have become violent fireballs by automatically assuming the youth on campus are going 1960s on us, and I must say, being on a campus, everyone's too into their smartphones to coordinate a violent uprising. I know you say this isn't our fault, but maybe we need to do some radical shit, like throwing glitter into this dangerous faggot's face instead of showing up at all, perhaps. There are bigger, more systemic problems than one self-aggrandizing Twitter troll. We have Senate confirmation hearings, so senators to bother to call and to show up at their offices. There are encryption workshops to be led, there are local organizing meetings and teach-ins to be attended, and there are offices to be won by Democratic vote. There's fundraising to be doing, and one man will not bring us down, but showing too much attention to him will. He'll call up his friends who are now part of the system to chime in, i.e. Bannon. Given Bannon, it is very possible that we have to look deeper into these optics, that those 150 protesters were not students, might even not be the leftists everyone assumes them to be. They're anarchists, and anarchists exist on the right and the left in this world. Everyone has a price. Don't take for granted that a Breitbart writer would benefit from protesters, and Steve Bannon is the king of optics. Milo said his UC Davis talk was canceled because of violent demonstrations in the past, but police shut that claim down. Looking at other university followings that he has had at DePaul, UCLA, University of Washington, and now UC Berkeley, there were some violent outbreaks, the most violent being during this administration. Who do you think has something to accomplish in these protests? The protesters don't have much to gain. Milo does. And when the president is a puppet to Milo's boss, Bannon, you have to ask, who's winning here? All I'm saying is, right now, we're entering into a period where everyone is seeing pieces of a great game that is way bigger than us. We can choose our egos, or we can choose our country. I'll let you decide what the administration has done. What will you do? Anyways, that's tonight's shit show. I hope you have a good night.